And it's a good Tuesday to all y'all out there on the YouTube. It is time for the Jerry Hinkle program. I am Jerry Hinkle. This is my program, and we're coming to you almost live, just about premiere, from the Rising Sun studio of the Oliver Advocate Media International headquarters, situated in beautiful downtown Mitchell, South Dakota, just on the edge of Cornfield County. And yes, as you can tell by the title of this episode, we are celebrating, if you can call it that, our first legitimate complaint from a lady, I'm assuming, Sherry Knipling, who I did not, I looked for her address, could not find it. So, I know she's a good friend of Lori Hart Latham, as I am, so I know that she comes from good people because, Lori, she knows only the best kind of people. I mean, she knows me, so there you go. Anyhow, her complaint was that she could not hear me. Apparently, I was not speaking up. I listened to the show myself. Of course, I had the earphones on because, the neighbors, they're the ones doing most of the complaining about how fat, stupid, lazy, and all that kind of jazz that I am. Anyhow, so Ms. Knipling said that I wasn't loud enough, so I got to work on my projection exercises. Every once in a while, I'll be doing this from my theater days to make sure that I am projecting, because that's what we do. Okay, so let's see what we have to talk about. There is the Roseanne show. Yes, the Roseanne show. See, the problem is not so much the volume as it is the register, because I don't know where the microphone is on this unit. I can see the camera; it's right there, but I can't see no microphone. So if this problem keeps persisting, I'm gonna have to go to Walmart. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go to Walmart and get one of them microphones, and we're gonna do just like the broadcasters do. Let's go to the disturbance at the basketball playoffs. Did you see what happened? Yeah, I did. Okay, actually, I didn't see what happened because I wasn't there. Well, okay. So now that we're working on our projecting, what are we going to project about? Well, did you see the Roseanne show? A few million people did. My Easter special that we did, last, on Easter, 10 days ago, it's been 18 people watched. Well, 18 million people watched Roseanne. So I've only got like 17,999,982 to go. So someone cipher that out and comment on there. See how I did. Anyhow, yeah. So the Roseanne Barr show and their second episode, in their second week, which was last Tuesday night, they did pretty well. According, I saw the next, last Wednesday, I saw that they dipped a little, but not much. I mean, if it was just a curiosity thing, half of the audience or more would have gone away, but they retained their audience pretty well, and so there is a market for what they were worried about. Keeping up with the Kardashians, all that. Roseanne, do not get that butt lift, and if you do, don't put it on camera, please. No one wants to see your butt. No one wants to see my butt either. Thank you, Jesus. Okay. So what else we got to talk? Okay. No, I wanted. I actually saw an episode of Roseanne on YouTube. I'm not going to mention the name of the channel because they are in hiding, because they're one of those channels that are avoiding the copyright, and so unless the FBI comes to the door and it takes me in and waterboards me, I'm not going to say anything because I want to keep on watching the Roseanne show as much as I can, and that seems to be the only channel on YouTube that has. There's a lot of people talking about Roseanne on YouTube, but they ain't showing the show, and that's a lot of folks are not do, they're saying a lot of things that are not to Roseanne's credit, excuse me, or my liking. And while we're at this, I just got to say, um, um, I heard a story that when Rosie O'Donnell was starting out in the world of stand-up comedy, uh, her see her name, her birth name had been Roseanne O'Donnell all her life. So when she started out doing the stand-up comedy thing, she tried to get known professionally as Roseanne O'Donnell. Trouble was, whenever she would show up for work, the venue and the people doing the audience would be disappointed because they were expecting Roseanne Barr. When they heard Roseanne, they just did not hear the O'Donnell afterward, and so she had to basically change her name so people wouldn't confuse her with Roseanne Barr, and well, that would be easy because at that time they were both fat, loud mouth, and that kind of jazz. Only difference was she was a New York loudmouth, and Roseanne Barr was just your typical Salt Lake City Jew. and, and a happy Hanukkah to Hanukkah Passover to you, Roseanne Barr. Okay, so that's an interesting little story about it. So, and as soon as she changes her name to Rosie O'Donnell, they start calling her Rosie on the show, and I must admit I do that myself because when I was growing up back in the '80s, I wanted to be like, and in the '90s, I wanted to be like Dan Connor. I'll admit it. Little, oh my little man. That's why I grew the beard. I think probably I wanted to psychologically. I wanted to be Dan Connor, except for the whole being married to Roseanne thing. That would be a great, But John Goodman is quite a. Whew, to be that manly would be very good, I think. Okay. Well, that's pretty much all we have to talk about. We're going to wrap this up. So until next time, this is the Terry Hinkle program from the Rising Sun studio of the Hollywood Advocate Media International headquarters, uh, downtown Mitchell on the edge of Cornfield County. God be with you. Do the best you can and get out of my bathroom. You're invading my privacy.